Game Friends. Friends who are games. Hi. Game Friends are here. It's me, Chris Slight, and who are you?
I am Steve McNeil.
And who are you?
Ian Dransfield.
And who are you?
Chris Slight.
Oh, you're not. Who are you really?
Chung.
Yeah, I'm Chris Slight. Right. So, this week, I would like to get on Nintendo.
I don't know why you laughed at that.
It's fucking hilarious.
I found myself quite funny at that moment. I regularly find myself funny. I always say, if you don't think you're funny, who else will? Anyway.
Okay, all of comedy.
That's me. So this week, I want to do more of a themed episode. And I want to know about Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want to learn about. Because I've got a Wii U now, and
Finally.
I've started getting into some of the good Nintendo stuff.
I like to think I twisted your arm into getting you that Wii U as well.
You did go on about it a lot.
I did.
Simon Chong, another person who'd always espoused the virtues of
Kept
Nintendo.
telling him over and over. So
NBA.
you got yourself a Wii U finally?
I got myself a Wii U, yeah. You did, I would say. Both of you sort of convinced me. And it did feel like it got to the point where the Wii U had so many games that it was time to get one
Last
this
year
year.
was a good year for the Wii U.
It was.
This year was not a good year for the Wii U.
Well, I got mine this year, but it had such a big clump of games that I could get all in one go, like Super Mario 3D World, Mario Kart 8.
Kart's amazing.
What
Mario
came
Kart
this
is so
year?
much fun.
Not a lot. Splatoon.
Splatoon, that was another one I got.
Mario Maker.
There was
Yeah.
there was Nintendo-y hype about it with like Nintendo fans looking forward to it, but it didn't get a huge amount of joy pre-release. Then it came out and everyone was like, "Oh shit, this is really good."
It got to a point
Like,
where there was just
really good.
loads of really good games on it.
Yeah.
And that last year was very exciting, and there was lots of big announcements. And by the end of the year, we had a lot of good stuff. This year's been drier, but there's a great back catalogue for the
is.
money it costs. You can get a lot.
Exactly,
of fun
and
out of the machine.
that's what I've been doing. But I never grew up with Nintendo ever. I had an Amiga, then I had a Master
Amazing.
System.
Yeah,
I missed the entire 16-bit thing and just convinced myself.
You didn't. You had an Amiga.
Oh, it's true, I did.
16-bit
That
king.
was 16-bit. I had it before I even had an 8-bit console. Little did I know in my young mind. But I've
I've never known anyone who's done it backwards. So you went from an Amiga to a Master System.
Yeah, my dad had an Amiga, so I played like James Pond and everything. Then I got a Master System in my bedroom, while the Mega Drive I think was already a thing. So I had all my friends have Mega Drives, and I was like, oh, I want a Mega Drive so much. But I only had the Master System, and so I was the kid like that would convince himself that Sonic Chaos looked just as good as like Sonic 3. It didn't. It didn't at all. I went
no
back
one
and
thinks
looked like
did.
shit.
Yes, it did.
I went back on YouTube and looked at it and was like, oh, it doesn't, does it? But in my kid's mind, I was like, this is just as good. I
But in
was like,
Sonic
this is
Chaos,
fine.
you could play as Tails.
Yes, you could, and it was
that
great.
was-
I was
that
having a
took a lot,
brilliant time. But yeah, I then went to PlayStation and I've had everything. I had a GameCube for a little bit, but I think I only played Resident Evil 4 on it and didn't do much
It's a good
else.
thing. It's not very Nintendo-y, but it's a
No,
good thing to play.
it is,
One of
but
the best ever things to play.
I've never really got or delved deep into Nintendo. So there's a load of like classic games that I've never played. So Zelda, for example, is a series that I know a lot about in a professional capacity and just from interest in video
As
games.
in, you know that it's called Link and not Zelda.
It's called Link and not
What?
Zelda. Yeah.
What is this bullshit?
My mind is blown.
Yeah, so I know a lot about like the stories of each of the games and what they're all about and everything like that, but I've never connected with a Zelda game.
Okay.
And so for example, Zelda, I would like to know what the love is. Like, for example, is it nostalgia that makes you love, like, Ocarina of Time? Because people will regularly say Ocarina of Time is one of the best games ever.
My favourite.
And yeah, but I say
It's not your favourite.
Renegade Chong at it
That's
again.
me. Here I go. It's Majora's Mask.
because I've tried playing Ocarina of Time and it just didn't grab me, and I don't know.
I don't think it's nostalgia for me. I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't play the old ones that often. I play the new ones that are coming out now.
Mm.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about it that you love?
The gameplay more than the stories, I guess. I just love how it plays. I like the whole way, you go through every game and it's got the dungeons and the separate bits.
There's a familiarity in the
A
setup.
familiarity, can't even say the word, in the setup.
Familiarity in the setup. Because
Yes.
it's been basically the same setup since the
It's the same game again. And
Apart
again,
from
sort
Zelda
of.
2, which was a weird side-scrolling thing. But they've mostly been walking around a world, going into dungeons, solving little puzzles.
Yeah.
Collecting a bit
progressing.
of a thing and yeah.
Starting at small, going to big, getting things, progressing.
Yeah.
It's really basic video game tenets. Tenants?
And the
People who
puzzles.
live in
Puzzles are
games?
just
I don't
really
know.
good. I feel smart when I solve some puzzles in those
It's
in those
not
games.
like Mario Maker levels where people are
Yes.
dickheads who don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing. It's people who actually know what they're
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
So what was your first experience of Zelda? What was the first
Ocarina
Zelda?
of Time was mine.
Ocarina was first for you, was it?
Link to the Past
Link to the Past is
SNES
the
game.
SNES one. What's the? It's Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yes. Yeah.
What was your first, Steve?
My first one. Well, the first Zelda game I played was the SNES one. But I've always had a weird relationship with games in the way that I picked them up, because I've got a lot of games I've never finished. I know a lot of people have, but it's definitely, when I had a SNES, I'd probably completed half the games I'd got, and the others were ones that I'd either got for Christmas or something and never finished. And Zelda on the SNES, I dipped into, but I never really got that far with it. I actually found the SNES one, it turned me off quite a lot. I was more into like Mario Kart and Street Fighter and things like that. I liked the immediacy of games when I was younger. So I didn't really enjoy it on the SNES, so it sat on the shelf, and it's only more recently that I've gone back to it and discovered what that game's actually about. But Ocarina of Time was the first one I really got deep into.
Yeah. With
the N64, I think, because I'm showing my age, but I was at university when I had an N64, so I had a lot of time, which meant I could play games all day, like you can at university, and just 3D people forget how exciting it was when 3D gaming happened.
Yeah, it was insane.
And it was all about the N64 for me. I was always Nintendo, and with Mario, even things like we were talking about Rare Replay, Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. And there was something about the Zelda thing. There was all the hype before it came out about you needing the expansion pack to be able to do it. I don't think you did need the expansion pack.
Not for that
Majora, you
Perfect
did.
Dark was the first one.
Were
that
they doing
needed that?
something with the 64 disc drive?
There was talk of the 64 disc drive. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but I remember when you used to buy magazines and read it before it came out.
Yeah.
It was the idea that this was this biggest game ever, and it needed even more power to run it, and all of this talk. And then, like when the game starts, and you've just got that cinematic of open fields and the horse going across. And it's Epona, yeah, Epona, and you can just it's a small world relative to the sorts of games we have now, but it was just vast. It was seemingly endless when you played it. I mean, that's partly because it took so long to get anywhere in it.
Yeah,
but the scale of the world was like nothing else, and that's what got me. As just that generation of Nintendo, it was just incredible. If you love Nintendo, the N64 was just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It was the era pre GTA 3, which was the game changer.
Yeah.
This was the open world before open world games were really a thing.
Definitely.
Just before Sony turned up and made games for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Not that games weren't, but the landscape changed. It became an
changed
adult
the marketing.
Indeed. It became cool.
Hey,
to
let's have
not
a
like
rave and
Nintendo.
play PlayStation.
Exactly.
So did you not play like Banjo-Kazooie or anything
No,
like that?
I never had an N64.
Oh my
I had a
God,
PlayStation.
so you missed out on
Everything.
proper
Well, this was one
rare.
thing that I realised, and I tweeted this like a little while ago because I was watching people playing Super Mario 64. And this was something I guess I just couldn't articulate when I was younger, but it was a very intimidating game to me, and not in a sense of it was like, oh, it's scary or anything like that. It was so big and so new that I remember not being able to wrap my head around like what it was. Like I had a PlayStation, I was playing things like Crash Bandicoot and things like that, and I got that, but I'd look at Mario and it looked so big and weird in the amount of 3D movement and everything like that I would just... It seemed like something I would have to learn, and I was like, I don't get this. Like, I was probably just a stupid child. Like, the reactions I got from people were like, you're a dumb guy. And I was like, but like, to me, when I would look at videos of it or like pictures of it or friends playing it, I would always be like, this is so alien. Like, this feels so weird to what I'm used to playing.
That's not how I felt at all. I just looked at it, I was like, I want that. I mean,
Yeah, most people did.
Played, I
didn't.
Fucking amazing.
It wasn't like I did actually look at it and be like, "Oh my god!" But I think part of my brain definitely did think like, "This is so different."
Just shut off.
It just felt so different to everything I was used to.
Yeah.
So like, and especially for not having a 64, and most of my friends didn't have 64s. I only had one friend who had an N64, so it was like a completely different world.
So
to me.
you've played it now?
Mario 64, I've played a little bit of it, but again, same as like Ocarina, like I've only played a little bit of
Where
it.
have you played it?
A friend's
it on the
house.
Wii- oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Because you download it on the Wii U.
Is Mario 64 worth playing now? Because I have loved Super Mario 3D World. Like I've been playing a
it's
lot
going
of
to
that
be very
co-op.
different for you to play. Like
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D World is like crazy polished in comparison, but
So
it's still
much
a
fun.
brilliant platform.
Remember,
Mario
you're going to be
64.
stepping back like 20 years and
Oh
4
yeah,
generations.
this is
or
the other
something,
thing.
so-
That this was one thing that I said on Twitter when I was talking about this. It's mad how advanced games like you're talking about the big expanse of Zelda and the mad 3Dness of Super Mario 64 and the way the world and the levels are all designed. That was 20 years ago. Like you look at it and go, Jesus, they came up with all of this that long ago. Even though to me, big open world games feel like they started with like Grand Theft Auto 3 or the newer games. It feels like a newer concept than it actually is. And again, this is all completely standard for like all of you that grew up with N64s. But like to me, I'm sort of like, well, Metal Gear Solid was the game I loved, and that was all in rooms and everything was all contained and it was in bits. And the same as like Resident Evil, it was all in bits. And like that's because that was how those games worked. There probably was PlayStation games I guess I just didn't play, but it felt like the N64 began that, and I never had that.
So do you have that same relationship with the SNES? Like,
never had one. No, it's a very.
Oh, this is the one that hurts me.
Never had one, and many of my friends didn't. It was Sega was the thing. Again, I wanted a Mega Drive. Like, I didn't have one, but that's the one I wanted, and that's the one all my friends had. It was you wanted to play Sonic and stuff like that.
So have you ever played Super Mario World?
No.
Fucking hell. That
Well,
blows my mind.
I've played like tiny little bits of it, but now as an adult, again,
But I've completed that game so many times.
yeah,
The idea of not. There's so much good game in there that you've never played.
No, I know, and that's part of the point.
I'd say more so than like 64 is almost a historical curiosity piece that you can enjoy, but it feels primitive compared to games now.
Point.
But Mario World,
Super Mario Maker has taught me anything. Is that Mario World is the most beautiful looking Mario game of the styles
my
you can choose
favourite
from
art
anyway.
style.
But like just looking at it now,
yeah.
it's just like that. If somebody released that now as a 16-bit game, it would stand out and be like, oh god, that looks really awesome.
Yeah. Just looking at the Mario 64 and Super Mario World, Mario 64 was one of the first 3D platformers.
Yeah.
Definitely the biggest big one. Whereas Super Mario World was when 2D games had reached kind of a pinnacle, so it was the peak of it already.
Yeah.
So that's why there's partly why there's a difference in it. But Super Mario World is it's one of my top 3 games ever. It's so
incredible.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, and
still you could play it now and really enjoy it.
It's
still.
as good as it ever was.
Yeah.
It's like the good thing about playing the Wii U is it finally feels like I've at least got a handle on Nintendo. Nintendo has always felt like that other alien world that I haven't ever understood. Like I play a lot of first-person shooters nowadays. I tend to play a lot of them, but I used to like it was Sony and Xbox and things like that. Those were the consoles I played. So Nintendo was always this other world, and it's always felt like something I've missed out on. So I've always wanted to know more and try to play more Nintendo games.
That is the great thing about it was true with the Wii, but with the Wii U as well. The fact that Nintendo are dreadful at online, or they were. They're getting the hang of it now. Splatoon DLC stuff, Mario Kart DLC is all good. That's very new. They've been historically dreadful, but the thing they have done well for years is the Virtual Console and letting you reach back into that back catalogue. It is definitely worth you pouring 50 quid into the Virtual Console and grabbing all this stuff.
The rumours about their next one, the Nintendo NX, whatever it's called, are that it will just be a Virtual Console. It will just be the Nintendo back catalogue available on it. Yeah. Which would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Depending how they go about it.
I've got to buy Super Mario World again, haven't I?
Yeah.
Well, I hope
buy every day. It's fine.
Yeah. I hope someone recreates all of Mario World on Mario Maker actually, because playing it in HD, it just looks so lovely, so gorgeous. Sharp and crisp. I hope that Nintendo release the old games rebuilt in Mario Maker. That'd be really cool.
Something I want to know. So, let's say Mario. So you would say, if I were to play. Like I've obviously played 3D World, but if I were to play one Mario, like one classic Mario, what?
Mario Galaxy 2.
See, you've always been someone that styles
That's
Mario.
my favourite.
Very recent with that though, rather than classic.
Classic in as much as it could be any Mario.
Mario Galaxy 2 is my favourite game of all time, ever made, forever and ever. So that one for me, just the first Mario Galaxy when I played that one. I've so many times throughout the game when I was playing it, I'd just go like, huh. Like, just make this noise where, like, something is so incredibly original and brilliant and beautiful and intelligent. And then when the second one came out with that and more, because Yoshi was in it. Like, I too just...
the first one is one of the rare times me and my brother both took the day off work the day it came out and just went back to my house and just played through it. It's one of my happiest memories with my brother, just the day that came out. It's glorious.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy for me is...
The problem with that is that they've not done any upscaling stuff with it, so it looks a bit shonky to play on your HD TV.
Yes, it does, yeah. That is a shame.
Yeah. Because they've started to do the Wii re-releasey things on the virtual.
Yes,
they could really do with just giving those because you can emulate it on Dolphin, and upscale it anyway. It would take not that much time to give us HD versions of those two games, and given they're so wonderful, I don't understand. That's the thing Nintendo do dreadfully is they just sit on things.
You could
People
go.
would
You
buy
can,
that.
you can go on YouTube
don't
and
know
watch
why they
this. You can watch the videos of stuff emulating in 1080p. Like if you look at Mario Galaxy, if you look at it, there's flowers on the planet that you fly around on that are so small in 480p you can't see them. In 1080p they look lovely. Same with Skyward Sword. If you look at the art style in the background and the drabs of paint style thing in 1080p, that looks incredible. Yeah. Just re-release it.
Do you like Nintendo, Simon?
Oh boy, do I!
He does a bit, doesn't he?
I think he does. I'm getting a vibe.
I have
We'll come back to the Mario and the favourite
about
games or
it.
the recommended ones, but Skyward Sword, what's your policy on that? Because I did not get on with it.
Oh, I
Most
loved
people
it.
didn't seem to get on
you?
with it, but I
Yeah.
thought it looked visually. One thing about Zelda, because I do want to talk about Zelda. Zelda visually, other than Ocarina of Time and that the N64's art style, I've never been a big fan of that. Don't know why, just never clicked with me. But Skyward Sword, Wind Waker HD, they all look so beautiful
Wind
to
Waker's
me.
gorgeous
Like
in
they look
HD.
like stunning worlds. And I've annoyed Mr. Dan Marr before by saying that my favourite bits of Zelda games were just when I was tooling around in the villages at the beginning,
Right.
which is why I love Animal Crossing. Like if there's one thing in
If you
Nintendo
like
I
that, then
love.
Skyward Sword you'll be fine. 'cause
I tried playing
there's a
that,
lot of
but then as
potting
soon as
around
I
at
get to the
start.
first puzzle, I'm confused, and I was just like, I don't get it. And
I-
it came
I
out
don't-
really quick.
I don't think the HD re-release of Wind Waker is as pretty as its original one. When I look at the original one, like there's something about the Wind Waker HD that makes it feel really cold. It's like there's
The
got this
original is
slight
softer.
glow, and the lighting on it,
Yeah.
it makes it feel a bit weird. But the first on the actual GameCube, I just think everything is just so bloody beautiful and it's just so pretty. But there's something about the HD one that I just feel is cold, and I can't put my finger on what it is.
It's like we're going from, I guess, like vinyl to CD, where you can listen to a vinyl, and it's weird and it's sad, but as someone that's got into vinyl, you do feel a warmth from the sound.
Right.
And it is because you're playing it, I suppose, for an older system, for older speakers, because I got all secondhand stuff. Yeah. But you do get that, and I guess maybe it is like that, going from an analog sort of system to an HD, you sort of maybe lose the warmth.
Maybe. I think it's just the lighting that they changed. Maybe.
Or is that?
Just that.
A lot of Nintendo love is nostalgia based.
I've always wondered this.
I
like,
will explain why I think. Because those of us who played it, the three of us here who played Nintendo as children,
Three Amigos.
played Nintendo as children.
Yeah.
And their games, the series they have been consistent from the start.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the Zelda kind of general theme
Yeah.
is the same with the dungeons. So all of their games have had central concepts that are similar throughout, always recognizable. They're characters you love, and you loved them as a child, so they've got you early.
Yeah.
And it is-
As
and it is
you
like
get
a-
older,
yeah.
you continue to love them, and then you have players who become parents and so on, and they push their Nintendo love onto the kids. So it's a self-perpetuating
It's a cult.
thing.
It's a cult.
It's a cult. It's a cult of nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it's a
Seems
cult of
like a lovely
nostalgia
cult.
Would you say that-
coated in joy.
Would you say that about Mario Galaxy? Because the stuff in Mario Galaxy could never have even been imagined when we were first playing them when we were kids, and that game is so different from Mario World.
No, I would not. But
Yeah.
I did read or hear something from Miyamoto recently where he was talking about going back to a more traditional sort of Mario design
Right.
after Mario Galaxy because it was a bit different.
Oh, okay.
I
That's a
can't.
shame.
I'd have to
That
look
is a
up the
shame.
exact quote. No, he wasn't in a particularly negative way. It was just explaining his design ethos
Right.
and so on.
Okay.
But it is something I'd have to look up to get the exact quotes. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
3D World was great. I do love 3D World.
But
I love
you
it.
see, after Mario Galaxy, they did go back
Yes.
to like new Super Mario and stuff like that. They went back to the very traditional kind of Marios.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a decision was made at some point to go.
Yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers thing's interesting for me because I loved all the classic 2D games, and then obviously you moved into 3D and everything that went with that. And new Super Mario Brothers is probably the only area of 2D. Sunshine wasn't great, but it was still a good game. Sunshine
they
was all
always
right,
felt like a
but
progression.
New Super Mario Brothers didn't. It's
I
the
think
first
it
time
felt
it's felt a
lazy.
bit generic and a bit lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the two extra characters are just two toads. That's so lazy.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
why is
Simon who
Peach
loves
not in it?
Nintendo.
Yeah, it is.
Even so, that's definitely a consensus. But yeah, they
Yeah.
I've not none of the Mario
I'm in a
Brothers
Kirby
new
shirt,
one.
for fuck's sake. I'm all about Nintendo.
Yeah, the one on the Wii U was better than the one on the Wii, but they just feel a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got like Super Mario Brothers, new Super Mario Brothers 2 on the 3DS, and it's fine, but there's just loads of coins for no real reason.
Does it feel, this is complete conjecture, but does it feel in a way like they're actually trying to capitalize on this nostalgic love people have? Does it feel a bit cynical?
Yeah, without the heart.
Yeah, because
that is
that's
what made
something I should say.
the
Like,
original special.
don't want it to sound in a negative way, like they're preying on nostalgia and stuff. It's never cynical.
No, that's what you said, and we got it on record. And,
Right. I'll say it again, just so you're sure, so all the Nintendo fans don't come and kill me. Because Nintendo fans are intense.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes, they are.
Or Simon certainly.
I'm also wearing a Zelda hoodie.
And a Kirby t-shirt.
Yes, I am.
If you've not grown up playing Nintendo, as Chris didn't, it might be quite intimidating.
Yeah.
If it's an atmosphere where it's Nintendo fans who are very protective and
they
aggressive
are.
about it,
They're very
Simon,
angry at
calm
you.
down.
Like when
But there is
There is an atmosphere from Nintendo fans that's peculiar, and it's almost cultish.
No, we did. Well, we did. We sort of joked about the cult thing, but there is that intensity to it that is unique,
And it's something that comes from someone that's been indoctrinated from a young age.
yeah, indeed.
I'm not saying it's a conspiracy.
There is definitely, like, whenever I've said stuff like, oh yeah, Ocarina of Time, I haven't really played it, it doesn't grab me. There are people that are like, what? Yeah, like angry, like that. You're like, it's as if you've come out and been like, oh, the Mona Lisa, I guess it didn't really do that much.
I just did
like,
a shit on your dog.
Yeah, like, and they're just like, oh, what are you talking about? It's one of the greatest games ever. And you're like, well, I don't know. I just didn't get it. Like, I'm playing it. I didn't get it. No, it's amazing. And
I
you're
was
like,
busy playing Siphon Filter. On the PlayStation.
Siphon Filter was surprisingly fun. Like, it was no Metal Gear Solid, but we were all enjoying Siphon Filter as a stopgap. But,
Gabe Logan.
Yeah, Siphon Filter, that was a fun game. There was a few of them, wasn't there? Anyway, we're not talking about the PlayStation, we're talking about Nintendo. So, you would say Mario Galaxy
2 specifically.
Would you say anything different in terms of, like, if I was to go home, Virtual Console it or something like that?
Classic Mario ones, I would say Mario World. I think it is... It's you can't say something is the perfect thing, but I think it is pretty much the pinnacle of 2D platformers.
I really like 3 as well.
3 was absolutely fantastic, but
Yeah.
World just...
Yeah, World does top it.
Yeah.
3 is a good one there.
But also, Super Mario All-Stars or something. Go back to that. And
You got
3
them
or
all
4
in
of them
there.
back. And you could play Super Mario 2. The Western release of Super Mario 2.
Yeah,
which is
the weird one.
Weird.
You definitely shouldn't play.
I know
It
all
was a
about that.
total
That was the
different
one,
All-Stars looks
that
horrible.
was a different game based on a brand in Japan. And again, I know all
Because
that.
Donkey Panic.
Super
Yes.
Mario World 2, the Japanese release, not Super Mario World,
Too
sorry,
hard.
Super Mario
Lost
Brothers.
levels.
That's
2.
the Lost levels now,
Too
isn't it?
hard for American audiences or something.
I know.
It
this
is
sad
fucking
thing.
difficult, though.
It's really hard.
Yeah. I
Too
do
hard
like
for this
games.
audience.
Yeah.
What Nintendo need to do, I think, for future stuff is sort out their female characters. I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most about any Nintendo
What,
game.
like The Legend of Zelda?
If you want to be a girl, you're either Peach or Rosalina, and that's it. And both of them are
Which are
princesses.
basically interchangeable.
Or Daisy. Yeah, well, actually, if you're playing Mario Kart 8 and you swap between Peach, Rosalina, and Daisy, their body is the same. The head changes, and that's it. And that's really shit.
Pick squeaky character in dress is basically your range of choices if you want a female.
Yeah, if you're a
character.
girl, you're a princess, and that's
It's
that.
not good.
What was
Or
the
your
game
Toadette.
on- I think it was on the GBA. That's Game Boy Advance, Chris.
Oh, I had one.
And it was like Super Princess Peach or something.
Yes, and you literally went through by playing your
One of
emotions.
your powers was like, getting in a strop.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tantrum.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how how bad they. I think they've done okay with Splatoon. I think that's the first time they've done a female character that I can think of. Oh, Samus, I guess. I mean, she's female, I suppose. It's a bit of a
Metroid is the one that people always refer to.
Yeah, but God, in Mario's world, they really need to sort out their female characters because there's nothing to look up to there. Nothing.
No.
Yeah, I always found that odd. Like, one thing I always said was like, why call it The Legend of Zelda? She gets kidnapped once and then you don't see her again to the end. And people are like, yeah, but she always gets the last bit on Ganon. I'm like, she doesn't do it. She's a non-event.
She gets kidnapped a legendary amount of time.
Yeah, it's the legend of how she always gets kidnapped. Yeah, I don't know, mad. But yeah, so Steve, Mario, what should I play?
Have I got to pick a different one?
You can join the consensus. I
I don't know. If I was going to send you, but
Are you talking literally about the main series of Mario?
Any Mario.
Okay.
have you ever played the original one?
No.
Yeah, you should go back and just complete that.
You think?
Yes. Yeah, play the first one on the NES.
Okay.
It's an incredible piece of game design.
Pure design joy.
It is.
Yeah.
That first level.
I know. Yeah.
It defines 2D platform. And
Yeah.
everything else is a refinement of that, but it's all there in that. Bare bones, but it's an
watched
incredible
the,
bit of platforming. And it's not easy.
Extra
Get through that without
credits
save
for
states.
that.
You've done well.
No,
No warp pipes. Play it through without warp pipes.
Yeah,
so
you fuck.
So you see all the level
sorry, he
design.
doesn't even know where they are. He doesn't know to jump
You must
over
know
the
where the
bridge.
first warp pipes are.
Dickhead, don't even know that.
In as much as there's a green pipe at the beginning.
No, you don't know. Oh my!
He doesn't know shit.
No,
I haven't played
that's
it. I'm gonna
amazing.
throw this
I've
drink in
never
your
No, that's
face.
fine, but that's very something. There's like
Yeah.
in the second level in Super Mario Brothers, level 1, 2, you can jump.
It's onto the top of the screen and run along.
That's a perfect example of why that game's so exciting. Is because it was a very early platforming game, but already it was subverting itself and testing it. And that's in the second level. After you've learnt the basics, you can actually break the game and stand on the roof and go to a bit that's hidden. It's the whole thing's so creative. It's wonderful.
Even in something so limited in scope and everything, there is a sense of discovery in it.
Indeed, it's wonderful.
You'd think impossible.
I mean, I joked about it on the last episode, but like saying about sports games, and I said like, well, if Mario's not played it, I probably haven't. Like that is actually true for me with sports games, because Nintendo do make me want to play sports games and makes it accessible for people.
Toadstool Tour on the GameCube's
amazing.
Shit. It's a great golf game.
I don't like football whatsoever, but I played loads of Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
It on the Wii?
And it was on the Wii and on the GameCube. I was the GameCube one. I played it a lot in university, but Mario Tennis and Mario Golf. Like, I don't play these games normally, but Nintendo has to have a way of, when they incorporate all their like the shells and mushrooms and shit into the games, it just makes it really enjoyable.
It makes it more of a game.
It does make it more of a game.
Oh, I've thought of another one you should play.
Go on.
Paper Mario on the N64.
Ooh,
that's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's really funny as well. Paper Mario.
I never played the N64 when I played the
Thousand Year Door.
That one.
Oh no, get the one on the N64. It's on the Virtual Console.
Are these the RPG ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were these the ones made in conjunction with Square?
I don't know if Paper Mario
Super
was.
Mario RPG.
You're thinking of Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That was on SNES, wasn't it?
Yeah, but only released in Japan at the time. You can get it on Virtual Console again now, though. If you want to
so, Paper Mario.
Paper Mario on the N64 is a great RPG.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice system.
They all are, I think. All Paper Marios.
For me, I've played a lot of them, and that's still my favourite one. Again, purity. They often, the first time they do it brilliantly.
What was the Thousand Year Door on? I forgot.
GameCube.
Right, yeah. So the Thousand Year Door, I just remember it having such a genuinely wonderful sense of humour about it.
It's so funny.
It took the piss out of games and RPGs and stuff, and you really wouldn't expect that from a Nintendo game.
I think all the Mario,
so openly self-aware about it.
Yeah. All the Mario and Luigi games, the turn-based stuff, they're all like the Game Boy ones as well. Like they let
them off the leash a little bit.
Yeah. Really, really.
Paper Mario is a game that I want to go back to again when I've got time.
Though not the one on 3DS. I thought that one was terrible.
The 3DS one's rubbish, and so was the one on the Wii. The Super Paper Mario one was.
I quite like Super Paper Mario.
It sort of lost all the game. It lost all the gameplay that I liked.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy it, but yeah.
I liked the mechanic of it, of turning the world on its side to be 3D. I quite liked that.
Part of the reason I liked the South Park game so much the other year.
Oh God, I loved it.
Because Matt and Trey very openly said this is based on Paper Mario.
Yeah. You can totally tell. Like when you're fighting, you push A at the right time.
So it is, because I remember hearing that at the time. But
gameplay wise, Paper Mario is the same as South Park.
Yes.
Yeah, very similar.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, well I'll try that. I want to go back to, we did touch on it, but Zelda. Because at the end of this, not only just for me, but I would like that if there's anyone who's listening to this that hasn't really delved into Nintendo, I know there's a few of us out there, would have a nice list of things.
There are dozens of us.
Dozens! But so Zelda, again, I don't know if it's a series I just don't get. Like, because I've tried with Zelda. More than I have with Mario.
I don't really like Zelda games.
You don't really like Zelda
games.
This is a safe space. Yeah, you can say whatever you like here.
I have tried.
Kind of not.
Simon Chong's about to get real.
A few over the last few years. I can't even remember which ones. Maybe Skyward Sword and a couple of others. I have tried every single Zelda game in existence, and I've never disliked them. I just haven't liked them enough to continue.
To finish them.
I came to Link to the Past. That was the first one I played, but I came to it a bit late. I came to Ocarina of Time late. I came to Wind Waker late, etc., etc. I tried Majora's Mask when it was re-released on 3DS recently. It's the longest I've ever played one, but still I lost interest and faded away. And there's something about the Zelda games that doesn't draw me in, or there's something lacking about them to draw me in.
That's a sort of similar thing I've had.
That's my shocking confession.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's just, again, because I didn't have that connection to it, but when you always hear that, like, some of those games are, like, the best game ever. Like, and as someone that has played a lot of games, you're sort of like, man, I should probably get into the best game ever, surely.
Well, Ocarina of Time often gets to the top of those lists.
Yes.
and it is a very good game. It is of its time. Ocarina of Time ends up at the top of those lists in the same way that Del Boy falling through the hole in the bar.
Yeah, I actually
ends up at
showed
the
that
top
to my
of funniest
girlfriend
thing.
earlier today. She is a foreign national and she'd never seen it before.
It's an
I showed Del
absolutely
Boy
brilliant
falling through the
moment.
thing. But she didn't actually start laughing until he stood up again.
Nice. But
So she was sure the comedy
We're
was
off
there.
treat. That's a genius moment.
it is genius.
Yeah.
It isn't the funniest thing that's ever happened.
No, it isn't.
And part of the it isn't. But part of the reason that it ends up on those lists is because you get this received wisdom, and it is a funny moment, and so it comes back and back and back. I do love Nintendo, and I've got a lot of time for Zelda, but Ocarina of Time, to some extent, continues to find itself at the top because we've all agreed it's at the top.
Bit of a self-perpetuating echo
Yeah, same
chamber.
as the Del Boy thing. It's that sort of thing. If you could pick any game to play today, that isn't the best one. It's probably not in my top 10 games, and I loved it when it came out. It's not the best game ever.
Okay.
It isn't.
So where you?
It's Simon's agreeing, and he loves Nintendo, so I must
So where
be right.
you?
Yeah, I agree.
I was worried he'd kick off, but he's
No.
actually-
I
about to
said
flip this
Majora's
table.
Mask is my favourite.
Majora's Mask is your favourite. So if you were to say play one,
No, I wouldn't say
Okay.
Majora's Mask.
what one should I play?
I think and this is you personally,
Hello.
not for anybody else out there.
Okay.
Twilight Princess.
I like the look of Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
you'd like
That's
that.
why I
So
suggest
that's
You'd
the
like
other
that.
day, that
because you
looked
get
nice.
turned into a dog.
Brilliant.
Exactly. Well, it's a wolf, but
Still, it's a dog. I
you've
love
got
it, mate.
this
It's
weird
like an
little
original
friend.
dog.
Yeah,
Like,
OG
you've
dog.
got loads of weird little friends. One follows you around. It's got like Midna.
Yeah,
I
friends.
think for you, Twilight Princess would be one.
It to me also feels like the one which immediately points out to you how much of a plot it's got. Which, with a lot of the other ones, can sort of feel like, especially Ocarina, can feel like, yeah, there is a plot, but it doesn't ever feel like there's enough of a plot for me
Yeah.
to drive me forward. And I know there is, where it's just like, she's gone, get her.
I feel
and,
like-
and I'm just like, okay.
I feel like Twilight.
Like-
I feel like with Twilight Princess,
but that feels
it
like
wasn't
there's a
as
lot going
well
on.
received as obviously Ocarina of Time.
No,
but I
people
think
seem to
Nintendo
really dislike
were
that one.
really hoping it would be because it has got the more realistic visuals than the rest of them.
That was the nice thing about it. It was the thing that when we saw the sort of tease last year of the new Zelda game that
Yes.
will
The big open world thing.
eventually turn up on the NX.
Yeah,
That's
Yes.
going to be awful if that does, isn't it? You think the Wii U will then
Of
not
course
have
it
had
is.
a proper
Of course it is.
Zelda
The Wii-
game? if
They've
it turns
already
up on
given
the
up on the
NX?
Wii U. There's nothing else coming for that.
I hope not.
They have. They obviously have. They've already told us the new thing's coming. There's no pipeline. But the nice thing was when the new one was revealed last year, that I immediately reached back to Twilight Princess and it was like, yeah, something a bit
yeah.
grittier.
I would like if they don't do the new Zelda on the Wii U, and I know that you don't like Skyward Sword, but I would like them to re-release Skyward Sword on there purely so I can look at it in 1080p.
It looked beautiful. That was one of the things I tried playing Skyward Sword purely because I
and it'd
thought
work.
it
It would
looked
transfer
stunning.
across so well as well because
I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
why they're
just-
just not doing that with the Wii games.
Yeah.
Probably because no one. bought
Even
a
the ones
Wii
that they
U.
have
There
released.
just isn't the need to, is there?
just
But-
upscale it. Yeah,
So you go Twilight Princess?
I'd go Twilight Princess.
Steve.
No, I'd tell you to play Twilight Princess for the same reason that I think that's the one you would enjoy.
Nice. And as you're not much of a fan,
I'd still say something like Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Because at least you can kind of see and define it's from an earlier generation, and it's kind of easier for your brain to accept as a result. Whereas the more modern 3D ones, you might expect them to do things that other modern games do, and they're not going to.
And they won't.
Yeah.
'Cause they're very particular, very specific games.
Okay.
One that I've forgotten that I really
not a real
enjoyed, and it
fan.
could be one of the best ones. Sorry.
You're not a real fan if you forgot one.
Oh no! Well, this is and it's one of my favourite
Take
ones as
that
well.
shirt off.
It's Kirby.
Later.
There's
So-
another one underneath.
No, it's is the between. Oh my god, the 3DS one that's name escaped me.
Oh, yeah.
Between worlds.
Is it between
A Link Between
A Link Between Worlds?
Yeah.
That one, I thought that was fucking brilliant. I
Yeah,
really,
that got really good
enjoyed
reviews.
that one, and the 3D on the new 3DS when you play it was really good. It was and just like the whole multi-level thing, and it was really smooth and lovely, and the whole going through dimensions thing. It was
And that kind of, again, playing to Nintendo's self-awareness, they made the special power of Link was becoming 2D
Yes.
on the 3DS.
Yeah.
That was quite funny. actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's that's a really good one to get on actually. And there's a twist.
Whoa!
I'll tell you what it is.
Or
but there's
is there?
And I didn't see it coming, and I was like, "Wow, you got me!" It's like in Wreck-It Ralph. Let's go
film.
Wreck-It Ralph is in the new Zelda game on the 3DS.
What?
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph turns up.
Spoilers. Yeah.
Ah, I hope the people from Sugar Rush turn up as well, because I love those girls. But anyway, there's a series I do feel like I would jive with quite well.
Would you?
and-
Which series would you jive with quite well, Chris?
I need to know what you jive with.
I'd like to
Hey,
know what
man,
series you jive with
I
the best.
use the cool lingo for kids, as we all know. Metroid. I feel like I could jive with Metroid.
Metroid.
Metroid, I've been put off by how you just don't know where you're going. It feels like because people like that. People seem to like that. Like it's just a big map. Where do I go? Don't know. And I'm like,
which one are you talking about specifically? The old Metroid.
You're talking about 2D Metroid, really.
They feel like they all kind of have that vibe, or do they not?
The Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Prime shoves you along a fair bit.
Prime Trilogy to me is Zelda in 3D.
Yeah.
Like particularly the first one, you've got all your powers at the beginning, you lose all your powers, and then throughout the game, you go to a place, go through an area, kill a boss, and then you get a new upgrade. To me, that's just Zelda.
Now,
Metroid?
How puzzly is it?
It can be quite puzzly.
Okay.
In again,
because that to me, again, I'm kind of dumb.
Kind of dumb.
He is.
You turn into a ball, roll around,
and that's it.
Well, there are puzzles. There are loads of little puzzles to do with that ball, but yeah. It depends which ones you... And then there's like Metroid Other M, which was totally different again.
More like... I suppose what I want to know is what ones should I be playing? Like, the only thing about Metroid Prime that I never liked the look of when I saw them on the GameCube, Halo changed the game for me in terms of like console first-person shooters. This is it. Like, I played Halo and I was like, oh my God. And then you'd see Metroid Prime and you'd see her arm like moving around on the screen. Other than Halo, the gun stays in the same place, your head moves around. Metroid, your head seems to stay still, the gun moves around.
But that's because you had the gun in your hand and you were doing that with the actual remote. It wasn't just doing that for no reason.
Okay.
It made sense when you play it. I don't think you would like it.
No, because I've been told I should play it. Like people have always said to me, "Oh, Metroid Prime,
I don't think
that."
you'd like it.
If you go into it thinking of Halo, you probably won't like it. It's exactly. a very different game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it doesn't even really fit in the first-person shooter mode
too well. One thing someone had told me, because a lot of people have told me, "Oh, you like shooters, Metroid Prime, man. You got to play that."
I don't think you'd like it.
Okay.
At all.
Well, no, I love the atmosphere of the Metroid games, particularly watching like people playing. Is it Super Metroid? Is that the SNES one?
Mm-hmm. That is the SNES one.
Yeah, watching that, it's just amazing. Like obviously, Aliens, an Alien, the film, they've taken a lot of inspiration from, and the music and how dark everything is. I love the look of that. Like if that came out as an indie game now, I love the idea of that. But I don't like the idea of the giant map of confusion. I just look at it and I'm just like, well, what do I do?
You've been schooled on Call of Duty with go to X to win.
I've got used to that, but then I remember when I first played Oblivion on the Xbox 360, and when you walked out of the cave and it just went like, and I got over this with Skyrim because I played loads of Skyrim, but when you walked out of the cave and it was like, off you go. I remember standing there and just being like,
oh God.
Well, what? Tell me what to do. Yeah, I was like, well, what do I do? And like people I knew were like, well, you just go around. And all these people told me all these amazing stories, like being abducted by vampires and all sorts of crazy things. And I was like, yeah, but what am I meant to do? Where do I go and what do I do? And they were like, well, you just find stuff. And I was like,
no.
What? I've got this one quest to go to this town, but like,
have you fixed your brain yet?
No, not yet.
Because you need to fix your brain before you start jumping into these other games.
Yeah, you just can't deal with scale, can you?
This is my problem. I go from one thing to the next. I'm like, what the hell? And I get used to it eventually. But like Metroid, I do look at that in a similar way, where the idea of Metroid seems to be running around, going back and forth and not just knowing where you're going.
From everything you said, I think it's fairly safe to say you would not enjoy the old 2D Metroid games.
It's a shame because they
look Prime,
beautiful.
if you accept that they are not.
Well, what's
Call of Duty?
How do you cognitively reframe Metroid? Like, if it's not a first-person shooter,
change your expectations.
It's a different. It's just
don't
different thing.
think about Call of Duty, Halo, any bollocks that I do like. But I'll still
I was like,
just go into it with kind of as much of a blank slate as you can. Yes, it's from a first-person view, but don't think it's a first-person.
I also think Metroid Prime has aged horribly.
Which doesn't help.
Which does not help. Like I've played it.
Is it upscaled on the Wii U? Because the trilogy thing
is
not.
Oh, it's not. No. I played it, but I played it on the Wii when it was re-released on there, and even then I could tell, like, God, this is aged
in truth, there isn't a Metroid game I would recommend you go and play.
No,
because I can't think of one I think you'll enjoy.
That's a shame because it really feels as a series, it really calls out to me. Like the story, I really like, and like the.
Just watch it on YouTube.
I have. I've not the actual games, but I've watched a lot of things about it and stuff like that. And the music in particular for Super Metroid,
they're just all quite of their time.
What were the GBA ones called? There were a couple of GBA 2D ones that got really high.
The Game Boy ones were supposed to be good. I've never
It's
played
Metro
them.
Fusion.
Metroid Fusion.
Yes.
There was another one as well, but I can't remember. But they were like back to the Super Metroid style. Like
Yes.
5-10 years after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe try them. I don't know.
I would
What are
say,
you gonna
Chris,
do?
I would say, Chris, you would not like it. Just keep watching it on YouTube and listen to the soundtrack. I don't think you would enjoy them.
Such a shame. It feels
I'd
like
say
it feels
just
like
try it anyway.
just try it.
Live a
But
life.
don't complain if you don't like it.
If I don't like it, I never do. I with Nintendo, I'm just sort of like, here we are.
See, you should try Star Fox.
Ooh.
This is one game I've always wanted to play Star Fox, and I think because it was on the SNES and the N64, I never had a chance. But even when I was a kid, I would look at Star Fox and be like, "Oh my god!"
I haven't played Star Fox in a very long time.
Blew my mind
Yes.
when it came out.
Yeah.
Because it was
The
on the
SNES one.
SNES.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How the fucking
the
hell
Super
is my
FX chip.
fucking console fucking doing this and not fucking melting?
It was mad.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
I was passionate a minute ago. But
I remember just
No,
seeing
it was amazing. It was amazing.
the N64 one round a friend's house, and like this was my one friend that had a 64, and I remember just being like confused and scared or whatever I was feeling from Mario, and Zelda just being like, "Oh, no, it's cool, but I don't get it. Like it feels too weird."
No, but the SNES one is the thing.
When he stuck
when that landed,
Star
it was
Fox 64
ridiculous.
on, this was the first time I think I properly saw it.
Lilac Wars.
Lilac Wars, as yeah, it would
Well,
have
it was
been referred
Star
to.
Wing, the first one in
Yes.
the UK, wasn't it?
It was crazy. I remember looking at it and just being like, "Oh, I want this." Like this game looks, because I love sci-fi and all that sort of stuff. So just looking at that, I'm just piloting a ship and shooting, and there's rabbits and frogs, and they're all talking to me. Oh, it looks amazing.
I think
You're a man that's played that a lot.
I haven't played Lilac Wars in a very long time, but I would hope, and I'm just totally assuming that has aged quite well.
You can get it on the 3DS and it's fun on there. Get it on the
Yeah,
if you've got
'cause
3DS, get it on that.
They
they
have
remade
the
it,
kind
didn't
of old school arcade
really
feel
cute
to them,
on the
which
3DS.
is kind of ageless. Just, you're not really in full control of the ship. It's more like an on-rails thing. And you're just shooting targets and stuff, and it's really good fun. Like the original Star Wing.
Yeah.
Star Fox, Star Wing, whatever. It's still great. I mean, it doesn't look quite as spectacular as it may have once done, but...
What one would you say to play? Because that's a series I feel like I could jump on with and really enjoy.
For me,
maybe
64.
wait for the Wii U one.
64.
I'd stick you on 64 on the 3DS and you'll have a lovely time.
Yeah.
Or Star Fox Command.
I remember it was the first game I played.
One?
I think it was the first game I played where it had branching storylines.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yep.
And I just remember being completely worried if I felt like I'd done the wrong thing or gone the wrong way, and it ending or not. I think it just ended the same way, whatever happened, really. But I just remember being really blown away by that.
I think all the routes converged at the end.
Yeah, basically.
Was it the bad guy called Andros?
Andros.
Which always amuses me because there's a footballer called Andros Townsend. I just get the feeling he's evil.
Does he have a big baggy face?
Yeah, I think he kills Fox's dads.
Don't you like fight his head at the end of it, like his big hands? Well, I've seen that. Yeah, It looks cool. No, it looks awesome. I love Metal Gear Solid. I'm used to weird things.
I'd honestly say play the first level of Starwing, the original.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'd recommend that as like your whole game to play through, but at least play the first level because it's just so cool.
Yeah.
It looks
so
really
good.
fun.
Get
so
64
much fun.
on the 3DS. You'll have a lot. You'll have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that looks really fun. Like
It's
that
still
definitely
really
looks
good.
like my idea of a good time.
Yeah.
Like in terms of Nintendo ones, I'm like, But again, and speaking of ones I do get, Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing.
I love Animal Crossing.
See, I don't understand how you like that you can't get into the rest of it, but you can get into that one.
because it's
I love it. I do love Animal Crossing.
again. If I always put myself forward as a dumb guy. Because
Okay.
I can't do these puzzles and stuff
Such
like that.
a character you play.
I know. I always
good at it,
say
though,
I'm
isn't
this
he? Isn't he good at
guy.
it?
Yeah.
Once
But-
off the air, he does maths non-stop.
Yeah. Good God, no. I don't even know times tables. But, like, Animal Crossing, it's just so relaxing and beautiful. And there's little animal friends that I can hang out with. And, I love it so much.
I think I know you quite well now, and I think a
Yes.
big part of the Animal Crossing thing that I think is I hate having to say this,
What?
but you're a very nice, sweet man. And there is
I see you've got it on audio now. I mean,
I
you can just
know,
put that as your text
but
message.
That's my ringtone, yeah.
sadly that is true. And Animal Crossing, like my wife is also a very sweet, lovely human being,
Yes.
and it's one of the few games she really enjoys.
Oh, I love it.
because it's just warm.
Yes.
it's so lovely. It's just so cozy and sweet.
I used when I first got there. I played it for ages. Like I just sit there every day and just be like, And I'd love just chatting to my friends, and when they come up and be like, "Oh, yeah, I've been waiting for a letter, but I'm going to send you a letter when I get home." And I'd be a little koala called Mel.
Did you ever get totally? Because I really did. Did you ever get to the point where you were like winding the clock forward on the GameCube and think just play it every single?
No, because that.
Oh Christ!
That felt like messing with time. Like to me, I was just like, I don't want to mess with my friends.
Yeah,
and like
no,
they all go weird. Like we come out of it and they've got arms coming out of their heads.
You want to put the hours
I needed
into.
more.
I love it.
Yeah. I would like
I send them letters being like, "Hello, you are
like
great."
I feel I have to, unfortunately, again, be a bit of a dissenting voice here.
You hate Animal Crossing.
I don't think I hate a single Nintendo game because it's impossible to hate them.
Yeah.
But Animal Crossing, another series where I've played a few of them and put in a few hours. And it's just got to a point where I'm like, right, I'm bored now.
I can completely see how.
I don't need another one, but the GameCube one just destroyed.
I have
me
pre-ordered Happy Homemaker.
Was the first one on GameCube? Yeah. So I was playing.
Well, there was a little. Wasn't there an N64?
I feel like the first one was on the GameCube.
I think you might thinking of Harvest Moon, maybe.
Maybe
that was on the N64.
That was on the SNES. That was on the SNES as well, though. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, it was. Yeah.
I played Animal Crossing and I was trying to force myself to like it, and it just got to the point where I was like, well, I'm not liking this.
This isn't happening.
I'm not liking this as much as I feel like I should because everybody else is
like a job,
effusive with it, with their praise. And I had Animal Crossing. I had Harvest Moon. And I played Harvest Moon, which has a similar kind of air to it, similar kind of atmosphere to it. But I've always got on with the Harvest Moons better because I feel I must be quite a goal-oriented person because there is a goal to it. There is a grow your plants, harvest your plants. So there's progression and steps in it and stuff like that.
What is your favourite Harvest Moon game?
Friends of Mineral.
Yes! On the Game Boy Advance. Yeah. Oh, I lost 2 weeks in Spain on holiday just playing that.
I can't get into Harvest Moon. That's the one.
Friends of Middletown.
Monster!
I know, I'm horrible.
I've not played it, but it always feels like that's the reverse of what I enjoy about Animal Crossing. Like I'm like, I don't want to have to. I would like the option to have a day where I just walk around.
Oh, then you would hate Mineral Town because there are consequences to not doing your job.
Oh, I'd hate that. Yeah, that would ruin the...
Your dog doesn't like you.
Although, the reason I liked Friends of Mineral Town was because that was the one where the little... Is it pixies that live on?
Yeah.
You could make friends with the pixies, and if you got to a certain level, you could then give them sorts of jobs to do. Harvest spirits.
Yes. Oh, so you saved a bit of time.
If you made friends with them, you could delegate the jobs to them, and then you were free to wander, which is why I like that one best.
You put the hours in, and for putting the hours in, it takes the burden off you.
So you might,
and also you can boil an egg in a hot spring.
That is true.
You can boil an egg in a hot... What do you do with the egg?
Eat it.
Can you give it...
You stop yourself from being blue, because when you run out of stamina, you go blue. And you eat it, and then it's not blue anymore. Because if you overwork yourself, you pass out, and then you wake up late, and you've missed out on hours of farming time.
And the cow's dead. The cow isn't dead. I don't think you can kill a cow.
Oh, God. I was like, this sounds like not
your
what I want.
turnips can rot, but you can't kill a cow.
My horse Trotsky loved me.
Of course he did.
I'm going to assume that the two franchises that we haven't talked about from Nintendo.
I was going to say, what are the ones?
Kirby and Pokemon.
Oh, mate.
I know that you like both of those.
Well.
And Smash Bros.
I like Kirby.
Yeah.
I love a bit of Curbs. Like a few of we got Curbs and Chew sitting on my shelves. Pikachu and Kirby, Amiibos. They've been Curbs and Chew. Amiibo.
That's a singular plural.
Is it? Oh, I've been saying Amiibos. Like they're a bunch of buddies. Like I got
get on the marketing team. Come on.
Sorry, mate. But yeah, I love Kirby games that I've played. Well, I love Kirby's Epic Yarn. I love that game. I used to sit and play that for ages because there's no threat, and there's no need to kill anyone in that game either because if they do nothing, you walk right up to the enemies and they're just like, all right, yeah, and you're just like, oh, cool. You just jump over their heads, keep strolling. It's a good time. But Pokemon, I've never got into the game Pokemon. I love everything about Pokemon. Like I love the cartoons. I love the visual style. I love all the little mates in Pokemon. I love everything about it. But the game has never hooked me for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I believe I heard Simon mention a particular Pokemon game before we started recording, and if it is what I think it is, it's my favourite Pokemon game.
He got it wrong. You mean Pokemon Snap?
Oh God, yeah.
It's not that. I was talking about Pokemon Shuffle.
Oh,
were you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh well, let's talk about both. No, we'll talk about
Shuffle.
I'll happily go on about Snap.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been playing recently Pokemon Shuffle on iOS because it's Nintendo's first official game on iOS now,
which is incredible.
And it's really good. It's really fun. Yeah. I mean, it's all about making money because it's a freemium game and they know what they're doing there. But it's a great little. It's just a match 3 game.
Yeah,
great little title.
Yeah,
but with the element of Pokemon in it.
Pokemon
and their types.
Yes.
I want to like Pokemon because it's cute little animal friends, which admittedly you have to make fight, which I always find a bit weird. I'm like, I don't want to make them fight, but
They
like
never get killed or anything. It's fine.
no,
just
I
get
know
knocked
that's the only
out.
nice thing. But I want to get into Pokemon, and like the newest ones where you can feed them and stroke them and all that good stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
But it's never clicked, and I bought Red like when that was new because I'd loved the cartoon, watching that in the morning. I'd be like, oh, Pokemon, and then playing it, and be like, where's Ash and Brock and Misty? Like, oh, I meet Brock at the beginning, but are we going to be friends now? No.
As a rule, I absolutely hate turn-based games. I just don't enjoy them at all. But when the first generation of Pokemon games came out, I was in sort of last years of school, and everyone was just all over it, and
Pokemon's
that's why I
huge.
played
Yeah.
it through.
That's the point. Yeah.
But so with the Pokemon games, for me, it is nostalgia because the only reason I get them, it's the only turn-based game I'll play, and I never finish them now. Ever. I play them for like maybe a couple of hours, and I've got one from every generation for some reason. I'll play it for a couple of hours and go, oh yeah, I really don't like this actually. But I just like the beginning of it and running around, and then there's like the realization of, oh yeah, fucking hate
Got to
turn-based.
keep doing this forever.
Yeah, because it's never
With
been able to
slightly bigger
recapture
things.
how it was in
See,
school
now,
for me.
Leanne, who's sat over there at a desk in this office, she's giving us a wave. She plays so much Pokemon. Like every Pokemon she just plays, gets them all, plays it all the way through, beats all the dudes. So I've watched her doing that, and like I like to like things, and I want to like that much because I'm like, everything about you should be a thing I love, but why don't I?
Things. Lovers of loving love.
Yeah, that's me. But yeah, Pokemon is definitely one I want to get into. Are there any other series before we wrap things up that?
I'm not going to let you not let me talk about Pokemon Snap. So I'm definitely,
Sorry, mate.
I'm definitely talking.
Pokemon Snap.
It is the best Pokemon game.
It is.
Is that the taking the pictures of the Pokemon on the 64?
It's incredible. Yeah, it's an on rails safari.
Is that where you chuck things at Pokemon to make them like a bit more angry, and then you take pictures of them?
Yeah.
You provoke.
And then at the
Provoke him on.
and then after it's driven through a little thing, then this bloke turns up and he judges how good you were at taking photos. Of the
Professor
thing.
Oak, isn't it?
It may well be Professor
It's
Oak.
Professor Oak.
I don't know the series that well, but yeah. And it's so satisfying. It's the one game that it doesn't make any sense. They haven't done something with it with the Wii U because
everyone
on the
said that.
N64 that you're holding up a thing and moving around and taking photos. That's what the gamepad is.
Yeah.
And yet they've not made a Pokemon Snap game.
So many people.
I'm
remember
so
saying
angry,
that.
Chris.
Yeah, I can understand because like I said, I remember a lot of people saying like, why are they not making or re-releasing Pokemon Snap and using this thing?
They've
This
literally
makes so
built a
much sense.
Pokemon Snap simulator and then forgotten
They're
to
not
make
doing
the
it.
game.
There is a lot of rage in this Nintendo discussion.
Yeah,
Just as I expected.
because that is it. Yeah, you love hate. It's love hate, isn't it? Because they never quite give you everything you want.
Well, what? Just before we wrap things up, what are the things? Because there's a lot of stuff I hear mentioned, like
I'm
F
happy
Zero,
with. Oh,
that you haven't had. That you're like, why do you not do this?
well, I'm Mario's bitch, so I'm happy. Just anything Mario, give it
He
to
is.
me.
Mario NFL.
Pump it in my veins.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, I think we kind of glossed over because we mentioned Mario, but didn't really mention Mario Kart.
Yes, and I have really got into 8.
Yeah,
Well, now
I
I've got a
wouldn't
Wii U,
say
I've
go
played
into a
lot of
long
that.
discussion of this because we've been talking for a while, but
We have.
everybody knows Mario Kart's amazing. All of them.
I'm already on board
Even
with
the
that as well.
N64 one. Even Double Dash. They're
Yeah.
brilliant. All fantastic.
We didn't even mention Pikmin either, and that's great.
Should I play Pikmin?
You should definitely play Pikmin on
You
the
like
Wii U. It's
Pikmin
lovely.
because
I
it's
get-
cute and nice. And
The only thing,
there's threat, there's dangers,
yeah,
but it's
but
not
don't
too
like
bad.
the Pikmins get eaten and that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, only if you're
and they
crap.
all die.
Don't
And
be
you have
crap.
to like chuck them at people. To be
It is
like,
brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
There's
I
a lot of
wasn't on
death.
board with that.
It's just a
As
circle
much
of
as I
life.
love Halo and Destiny, if you're involving cute little friends, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no, a lot of cute things get hurt in Pikmin, but it is a very,
messed up.
very good game.
Nice. Well, I enjoyed this. I think we should do more like little special things where we just talk about certain aspects of games or certain producers and stuff like that. So that'd be fun. But for this week, we haven't used the kazoos for this episode.
We've had no need for them.
We haven't. I think should we round off with a kazoo?
How many kazoos would you give Nintendo?
I mean, we would surely all.
One.
Are
isn't
there
it? It's
enough
one.
kazoos in the world for how
I
many
think
There are
kazoos?
4
I think
here.
we'll give Nintendo 4 kazoos. I think there's a lot. There's a lot for me to play that I'm now excited to play. Like I want to play Star Fox when I get in, and I want to try playing Pokemon again when I get in.
Pokemon Snap, mate, download it.
Yeah, getting on it. Bye, game friends.
See you next week. Bye bye.